Tonight is the fifth night of Hanukkah, and for Jewish families across our state, they'll gather for traditional food, games, and gifts.
On Tuesday, Holocaust survivors around the world were honored as part of the International Holocaust Survivors Night. Some spoke about the importance of making sure we don't ever forget that dark time.
That continues to be, as I believe, a sacred mission of all of us survivors, to tell the story, to continue to tell the story, to challenge the bigots, to challenge those who question.
In the United States, many people today still ask, what did Americans know about the Holocaust at the time, and why didn't the U.S. act sooner? A
new exhibit at the Bangor Public Library takes a closer look at those questions. News Center Maine's Hannah Yeshivi is here now to tell us more about Americans and the Holocaust. Good evening, Hannah.
Hey, Chris and Tori. The Bangor Public Library is the only one in New England hosting this traveling exhibit. A historian for the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. tells me one of the most important factors in choosing these libraries was location. They wanted places not usually exposed to exhibits like this one, making sure no one ever forgets what happened.
Goebbels was on the front cover, and they had a quote under him. "Say it in your dreams, the Jews are to blame." And this is on the cover of Time magazine.
Walking through a cruel but important period of history and learning about the American perspective of the Holocaust is what this exhibit is all about.
It doesn't have the kind of photos people associate with the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. It doesn't have photos that primarily focus on like the concentration camps.
Bangor Public Library Director Ben Treat says this display is more family-friendly and meant to teach some of the facts of what happened here in the U.S. during the Holocaust.
As soon as Americans read about the persecution of Jews in Germany, there's a mass protest movement in the United States. There are rallies and marches in at least 65 different cities.
Petition letters from marches in 1933, including the city of Bangor, Waterville, Portland, Belfast, and Rockland, sent from Maine city representatives to White House officials. But U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum historian Rebecca Erbelding says as the rise of Hitler happened, Americans were focused on the Great Depression.
There really isn't a lot of pressure for increased immigration or for opening America's doors even further.
But that changes throughout the years. Towards the end of the war in 1944, the United States establishes a policy of rescue and relief.
They may have saved tens of thousands of lives in the final year of the war.
The exhibit includes articles published in local newspapers, videos, propaganda used to manipulate people on the realities of the Holocaust, and a lot more.
I think learning about the Holocaust, learning about anti-Semitism allows us to recognize patterns, to understand the fragility of democracy, to understand the importance of standing up when we see something that is wrong, to understand what happens when hate speech is allowed to flourish.
The Americans and the Holocaust exhibit was put together by the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum and the American Library Association. It will be at the Bangor Public Library up until January 15th. The library is open every day except on Sundays, and it's free of charge. Chris and Tori.
Hannah Yeshivi, thank you so much. What an important exhibit. I'd love for every student in Maine to go to that exhibit.
Really
what
cool.
an important lesson for everyone.
Thanks,
Hannah.
Hannah.